Friday. Apologize for not getting to stream yesterday. There was actually an escaped rapist who robbed a building near our college campus, so the campus was locked down and I was forced to stay in an astronomy lecture hall for several hours. So I was unable to come home during the lunch hour and stream like I normally do. But that being said, welcome to the Amateur Cast. On this show, what we do is pick a random live game in pregame of the list of team games and cast it as if it were a pro game, hopefully bringing you some interesting Dota and as well as giving these amateur teams some good exposure. So, that being said, we will go ahead and search for a game. We've got one in pregame right here, Star-Crossed Legends versus No B. So let's just go ahead and hop into that one. My name is Robert. On the internet I'm Zambash. Been playing Dota for about 8 years, so I know quite a bit about the game and think I'm pretty decent at it. So hopefully I'll be able to bring you some interesting analysis and some exciting Dota. So hopefully we'll be able to load in here momentarily. Here we go, we are in, and we actually managed to get into this one right at the beginning of the draft. Usually it seems like we come in near the end of the draft. So, on the Dire team is No B. On the Radiant will be Star-Crossed Legends. The captain/picker for No B is Lord Celebi with teammates Knight, Natsume, Accelerator, and Zamael. Over on Radiant, team captain Boo with teammates Supersonic, Zone, Shush, and Sin. And for bans so far, No B has banned out the Invoker and the Visage. Star-Crossed Legends banning out the Neeks Assassin and the Timbersaw. No B going to go with the strong middle laner for their first pick in the Outworld Devourer. Star-Crossed Legends going to pick up most likely their off laner and 4 or 5 slot in the Clockwork and Venomancer. Interesting bans out by No B. Visage, pretty common ban because obviously a very strong hero, but Invoker's not really still a super popular pickup. But still, they are going to first ban him out, and Star-Crossed Legends going to first ban out the Neeks Assassin. That one's also a little surprising. I'm surprised we didn't see like an Alchemist ban or a Furion ban in those first couple of bans. See what No B wants to do here. They're eating into their reserve time. They're probably deciding whether they just want to continue with the lineup they had planned or go for one of those popular picks since they didn't all get banned, and they will pick up the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden in the pro scene has been like the #1 pick and ban for quite a while now. So that's not real surprising. Even with that base intelligence nerf, she obviously still a very potent support hero. And they will ban out the Life Stealer. I think that's a pretty good ban. Obviously Life Stealer tears through supports very quickly, so that Crystal Maiden would be a feed. And he has the free BKB, so he's very good at carry against the Outworld Devourer because he can't be disrupted or anything from Outworld Devourer. Outworld Devourer is basically useless against Magic Immunity. Star-Crossed Legends going to ban out the Bristleback, getting rid of a strong offlaner. I always like to see Bristleback banned because I don't think he's a very exciting or interesting hero to watch, and I think he's borderline overpowered. I just think his skill Bristleback is just too strong, too much damage reduction, so I think it promotes a somewhat boring playstyle, so I like to see him banned out. Luna going to be the ban from No B, so No B just trying to get rid of lots of carries here, it looks like.
10 seconds remaining.
Trying to limit the options for Star-Crossed Legends.
5 seconds remaining.
I think both teams are actually still probably looking for their #1 here because 99% chance that Outworld Devourer is going to be run mid. Star-Crossed Legends now will ban out the Furion. So No B trying to get rid of carries for Star-Crossed Legends. Star-Crossed Legends getting rid of offlaners. Going to pick up the Rubik, so they've got both of their supports now most likely. Rubik and Venomancer, strong supports. I'm a little worried because they don't really, obviously they've got lots of slow from the Venomancer, and telekinesis is decent, but they don't have like a real hard stun. But
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see how that goes. I get a little worried when I don't see much in the way of stuns or burst damage in lane. Rubik's Fade Bolt is nice,
Reserved.
but I would like to see maybe a Vengeful Spirit or something with an actual hard spammable stun. Nobi going to pick up Weaver, so that is one of the offlaners that Starcrossed Legends left in the pool. I think it's a good idea that they picked up the Weaver there, since Starcross seemed hellbent on banning out the offlaners. So I think that was a very good pick from Nobi. And also, like I said, with not much in the way of real hard stuns and lockdown between those two supports, I think the Weaver should be able to do pretty well for herself on the off lane. Starcrossed Legends probably going to look to pick up a mid or a carry here. Wouldn't be surprised if they picked up a mid hero here and saved the carry for last. They could go for a Viper or something if they just want to try and counter that OD. Viper or Razor, both of those heroes still in the pool. Nobi choosing not to ban out the standard counters for the Outworld Devourer. Starcrossed Legends going to eat into their reserve time here and try to figure out what they want to do. This Venomancer face, so creepy now. I like the new Venomancer, I think he's pretty cool. A lot of my friends seem to think he doesn't look very good anymore, but I think the new Venomancer is awesome looking. Starcrossed Legends will actually pick up the Storm Spirit. Not quite sure how I feel about that pick. Obviously great roaming ganking potential, and if he rushes an Orchid, he's a pretty good counter to that Weaver on the other team. But usually don't want to pick an Intelligence here to go up against the Storm mid, or against the OD mid. They could pick, or let the Storm Spirit go in the farm lane. Nobi actually going to pick up the Wind Ranger here, so that could, let's see. Probably going to run Weaver on the farm lane. I thought Weaver would be their off laner, but with that Windrunner pickup, Windrunner will probably be on the off lane. They could do a farming Windrunner. I'd like to see that. I think Windrunner has some great carry potential, and no one ever does it. But most likely going to be that Weaver in the farm lane with the Windrunner on the off lane. Final ban's going to be coming in now. Starcrossed Legends probably going to ban out a support for this last ban. Nobi is a little shy on support right now. They've got kind of a greedy lineup going, I would say. So they're probably going to be looking towards banning out a support here for Starcrossed Legends. I surely don't know about that Storm Spike. Intelligence heroes don't do super great against OD mid. They're actually going to ban out the Doom, so banning out what would have probably been a jungler. Probably anticipated that Nobi might run Doom in the jungle, and Nobi is going to ban out the Slark. So Nobi thinking what I said, that Starcrossed Legends could run that Storm Spirit in the farm lanes. They banned out the Slark because he is a mid laner that can do pretty decent against the OD. So if Starcrossed wants to run the Storm Spirit in the farm lane, those two good options, the Razor and Viper for countering the OD mid, are still in the pool. But they will pick up a Sand King. Interesting. So I think it is still going to be the Storm Spirit in the farm lane, as he seems to be their most carry-ish hero. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with the rest, though. They could try running the Rubik or something against the OD, but I think Rubik would get crushed even harder than Storm Spirit does. And Nobi here, I think, going to be looking for a support. There's still got like Vengeful Spirit in the pool. I really like Venge's support. I think Venge is very cool support. Obviously her aura scale is great in the late game, and her armor reduction. She's got a good spammable stun for the lane, and she's actually fairly hard to kill support. Swap being a great skill for either setting up ganks or for escaping, and she has the second highest strength growth among all agility heroes, right behind Ursa. But we'll see what they want to do here. There's quite a few supports still left in the pool. Might see like a Dazzle or something, but I would really like to see a hard stun. Right now they've only got the Shackle and the Shackle as far as an actual hard stun goes. Crystal Maiden has that Frostbite, but it's not technically a stun. Enemy heroes can still cast spells while frostbitten. So we will see what they want to do here. I would like to see a stun of some sort. Because they do not have much to lock down that Storm Spirit right now. Really all they have is the Windrunner Shackle for locking down the Storm Spirit. They'll pick up an Alchemist. That is a nice stun. It's mostly just, I imagine, probably just going to be a mostly roaming supporting Alchemist. we will see how they want to run it. Still waiting for the last member of No B to pick up this Weaver. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Over on the Radiant side, Boo's going to be playing that Storm Spirit. I anticipate him heading towards the farm lane. Shush going to be playing the Sand King, Supersonic on the Rubik, Sin on the Clockwork, and Zone on the Venomancer. Over on the Dire side, we've got Knight on the Alchemist. Lord Celebi looks like he will indeed be heading towards the off lane with that Windrunner. Natsume going to be playing that Outworld Devourer, probably mid, though actually heading towards the top lane right now, so we might see a one-slot hard farming OD on the top lane. Alchemist actually parked towards the middle right now, with Weaver also heading down towards that bot lane. Ooh, are we actually going to run a Weaver Crystal Maiden? This is interesting. I think they might be running an offensive tri-lane, and it's not what I expected. They don't really have typical offensive tri-lane heroes. It looks like they might be running an offensive tri-lane with Lord Celebi on the Weaver, Zamail on the Crystal Maiden, and Accelerator on the Weaver, sending Knight towards the middle lane on the Alchemist, and Natsume towards the top to fight that Clockwork on the OD. This could work. I kind of like this interesting laning setup from No B. I don't think Starcross Legends is really going to be expecting it. And it looks like they will be running a defensive tri-lane with Rubik, Sand King, and Storm Spirit. I'm not sure who I favor in this lane. No B doing a good job dropping a sentry right away to get rid of that lane vision from Starcross Legends. I mean, Weaver and Crystal Maiden do a lot of damage early in lane. Windrunner not so much, but Shackle's still pretty good. And a good power shot can do decent damage. I don't know that they have... I mean, they just straight up don't have quite the burst of like a Fade Bolt and a Static Remnant and a Burrow Strike. This could be a very interesting face-off here in the bottom lane, so we'll take a quick look at the other lanes, but I think we're going to be focusing most of our attention down there, because I think that lane could go either way, and it's really pretty interesting. OD should have a pretty significant advantage over the Clockwork up here. Clockwork should be able to last hit and stuff decently, and oh my goodness, like I said, should have kept my vision on that bottom lane. We already had a first blood. Didn't think it would come that fast. I think that must have been some sort of overextension, because at level 1, really I don't think either team should have been able to kill someone from the other side. Windrunner is down mana though, so she probably landed a Shackle shot. And Crystal Maiden obviously has used 2 Frostbites so far. And Weaver Shikuchi. So yeah, just with those level 1 spells, they actually managed to pick up a kill on the Rubik. That is very interesting to me. What is that? We have Venomancer middle fighting the Alchemist. Lands a Gale on the Alchemist. Alchemist could be in big trouble here. He might go down if Venomancer lands like 2 more auto attacks. Drops a ward to keep that pose and sting up, and will manage to chase down the Alchemist and finish him off. One last tower attack would have killed the Venom, but not going to happen. So interesting, we have some strange lane setups from both teams here. They probably sent the Venomancer middle thinking that the OD would be middle, because Venomancer counters OD in a similar way that Viper does, just with constant harassment. But OD actually went top. Rubik now going towards top, deciding that this tri-lane's not going to work. So this offensive tri-lane, so far at this point, a big win for No B, picking up a first blood, and that Rubik just completely leaving the lane, so it is now a 3-on-2 down here, which No B will almost certainly win. Sand King going to throw a Burrow Strike on the Crystal Maiden. She is falling quite low, but going to duck into the trees. Ooh, Sand King in a Sandstorm. Crystal Maiden going to try and get out the backside, but she will eat an overloaded auto attack from the Storm Spirit, so she will fall. This Weaver getting quite low on health now as well. But will manage to take out the Sand King, and Storm may pay with his life here as well, though both Windrunner and Weaver getting very low on health, and they need to look out for remnants. Crystal Maiden back in the action now. Totally missing that Storm Spirit, but he will fall, and Weaver will pick up a double kill. So that Storm getting a kill there, but now this Weaver already on a killing spree, 3 kills before 3 minutes. So Weaver going to have a pretty good time in this lane, and this offensive tri-lane working wonders for No B. I did not think it would be that strong with that lack of burst damage, but just through sustained fights and good positioning, they have managed to take a significant advantage down here. Let's see, are all three of the heroes down here level 3 now? Crystal Maiden's still sitting at level 2 because she did die. Windrunner looks like she will fall now as well, hanging in there a little too long. Sand King looks like not realizing that they have a Sentry Ward here. Weaver making a mistake throwing those bugs and using the last of her mana. Does manage to survive that last auto attack using a salve, and Crystal Maiden taking out the Sand King, but now a double kill will go to the side of the Storm Spirit. So back and forth engagements here. Oh, and Storm Spirit picks up a triple kill, so this tri-lane that was a big win for Nobi is now swung back in the other direction. Storm Spirit now with 4 kills and picking up a triple kill. Weaver really hanging in there too long with that low health. But now we've had yet another right lane rotation. Windrunner going up to help the Outworld Devourer now so that he can continue to farm in this lane, not doing so great on CS. So far this Venomancer taking a significant last hits advantage in this game. In the middle lane against this Alchemist, he will manage to bottle up a Haster in top and could look to gank towards that top lane, or just continue to put pressure on the Alchemist in the mid. Alchemist not level 6 yet, so with this Haster, the Venomancer may actually be able to take the Alchemist. Going to be spamming wards down now, actually maxing those wards first. Sort of going a little double build. He's put 2 points in the Poison Sting rather than picking up his ultimate at level 6. Maybe just not feeling like he wants to invest the mana for his ultimate at this point, and he will pop the Haster now and land a Gale on the Alchemist, and I think this is going to be the end of the Alchemist's life. Dropping wards to hit him as well, and one more auto will do it, and the Alchemist does fall. So Venomancer crushing this middle lane pretty hard, unsurprisingly. Venomancer is a very strong laner in one-on-one. You almost never see him in a one-on-one, but he is nearly impossible to beat in a one-on-one just because his Poison Sting is so powerful. Oh, and Crystal Maiden in a bad position now herself. She was hanging in here, most likely waiting for the Alchemist to come back for a gank. But Crystal Maiden looks like she should fall now as well. Venomancer actually almost dodging into the fog and making the Alchemist stun himself. Roshan now coming out to mess with the Alchemist. Storm Spirit takes out the Weaver on bottom lane. We'll continue to monitor this mid lane. Nothing will happen. So this bot lane not going Nobi's way anymore. They had a great start down here, but were unfortunately unable to keep it up. Venomancer still in behind the tower here on the Alchemist. We'll see if Crystal Maiden ports back here. Weaver going to be porting back towards the bottom. Venomancer going on this Alchemist again, and this could be a dead Alchemist. Venomancer going to back out. We'll see if Alchemist stuns himself. He will not. We'll get the stun off on the Venomancer, but unfortunately Venomancer's maxed out wards, doing a lot of damage to finish off the Alchemist. Clockwork managed to pick up the Wind Ranger on top lane, so things are very quickly falling apart for Nobi here. They had an amazing start in that bottom lane, we're just crushing it, but now they're just getting destroyed in all their lanes pretty much. This, let's see, I believe Venomancer's killed Alchemist 3 times, yeah, so 3 kills on the Alchemist from the Venomancer and killing the Crystal Maiden. So Venomancer up to 4-0, Storm Spirit now 5-1, and looks like he's heading towards an Orchid. So I think Nobi had a really good thing going with their lane. Probably should have just kept it up. Weaver going to fall again, mega kill for the Storm. Alchemist going to port in and drop a full charge stun. However, it doesn't look like he'll be able to finish it off. Some good body blocking from Sand King, well played there. I think Nobi should have just stuck with their offensive tri-lane. Once they started rotating around and stuff, they lost the offensive tri-lane and ended up losing the other lanes. So they're really struggling now, already down 11-4 at not even 7 minutes into the game. OD continuing to spam Astrals up here in the top lane, managing to maintain a couple stacks, but these lanes are not going well. Venomancer still the highest CSer in the board, and like I said, up to 4-0. His solo killed that Alchemist 3 times and killed the Crystal Maiden once she came in to try and help. He's picked up Phase Boots in a bottle. Weaver now coming towards this lane. Venomancer does not yet have his ultimate, but he should fall here. Good rotations in from Nobi, trying to work on something. Venomancer will throw the ult, and if this, probably should have had that ward attack on the Crystal Maiden. She still may fall with that Poison Sting and the ult on her, we will see. It's a low level Poison Sting at this point. Let's see, we've got one more tick on the Gale, and no, Crystal Maiden will not fall. Good try there by the Venomancer. Storm Spirit going to come up to this lane. OD astraling himself. Good shackle shot from the Windrunner going to land on 2, but Rubik there to pick up the slack with telekinesis, and OD will fall right after dropping an ultimate. That ultimate doing almost nothing. Clockwork still has a hook shot up, will manage to hook shot on the Windrunner, going to cogs her in as well. Storm Spirit out of mana, getting shackled to a tree, but with these cogs and a final Fade Bolt from the Rubik, she will fall. Non-stop action this game, but unfortunately for Nobi, all of the action is going in SCL's favor. quite unfortunate after this. Alchemist going to port in bottom and stun himself, Sand King backing up in time, and then going to throw a stun and ult as well. This may finish off the Alchemist, and it will. Alchemist not being able to catch a break this game. Now 0-4. Poor Alchemist. Non-stop action this game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Feel so sorry for Nobi because they tried something cool. They went for kind of a funky offensive tri-lane, and it worked amazingly, but then somehow it just fell apart. They were just crushing that bot lane. Weaver picking up kills, but unfortunately unable to keep that up. Weaver going to go on the Venomancer a little bit, but forced to time lapse out to ditch that Poison Gale, or Venomous Gale. Now running around behind him, and this could be dangerous for the Weaver. She may get the Venomancer, but I think she's going to pay with her life, and the Crystal Maiden will manage to come in to finish up the Venomancer. So Venomancer now down to a couple deaths, but he has definitely done his job this game. Almost level 11, 9 minutes in. 5-2, crushed the Alchemist in the middle. Windrunner going to land a nice shackle and a power shot there, actually almost killing the Storm Spirit with little assistance from the tower. And do we finally have a little lull in the action here? Been basically zero time for any sort of analysis. This game we just had non-stop fighting in action. Clockwork will go for a hook, but unfortunately it looks like it was blocked by his teammate Supersonic on the Rubik. Weaver now going to head back down towards the bottom lane. Has a Perseverance, Basilius, Boots of Speed. It's not actually doing too terrible. Those early kills definitely helped her. Even though she's died 4 times, she also has the 4 kills. Not doing too bad for herself. Sin now in behind here on the Clockwork. And Alchemist will throw a stun, unfortunately then getting stunned by the Sand King. And Rubik with the Stolen Concoction will stun himself and almost one-shots himself using that concoction and will die. That was a little unfortunate. He was still standing in the Alchemist's acid spray and hit himself with a full charge concoction. So almost killed himself in one shot there. Alchemist going to try for a stun, but not going to be able to get it. Storm doing a long zoop, and it looks like he should be able to pick off the Alchemist here. Might even try to follow onto the Windrunner, but out of mana right now for the moment. Sand King still waiting in the wings with OD up here. We'll see if they can do anything with OD. OD really needs to be careful. He's got 3 heroes in his own jungle behind him. Going to drop an Astral on the Storm Spirit and back off to the safety of his tower. Venomancer has rotated towards the top now. Still just 1 point in that Gale, so no damage coming from that, but max Poison Sting and max Plague Wards can be a major pain, and is now going to stretch, and is now going to work on boxing this OD back into the woods, and this is very bad. OD does not have a TP in on him, and currently his path out of the woods is blocked. Venomancer going to drop a Gale and some wards on the creep wave to kill them before they can get to defend the tower. Venomancer now going to get boxed in himself though. Alchemist and Crystal Maiden TPing in. He is now surrounded by 4 members from the Radiant team. We'll see if he can get out of here, but I kind of doubt it. A stun will fly from the Alchemist. That tower falling in favor of the Radiant, and a team fight going to break out here. Venomancer does drop the Gale, but I believe it only landed on the Alchemist. Did actually land on the Crystal Maiden as well. Crystal Maiden now dropping her Freezing Field, but Sand King's Epicenter and Sandstorm going to be too strong. Sand King picking up a double kill, and then running back into the Alchemist's acid spray with 2 HP and killing himself. This game is ridiculous. Not even 12 minutes in, we've got 28 kills. We were going aggressive on the Storm Spirit here, and is going to pay for it. Things just not going well for Nobi. Just getting killed in every lane now. Storm Spirit up to quite a bit of money. He's going to be able to pick up one of his Oblivion Staffs and half of another one. We'll see if he tries to put some pressure on this tower here. As far as CS goes, Venomancer still leading the CS boards, and Venomancer and Storm just crushing at this game. Storm 8-1, Venomancer up to 7-2. See how some other people are going for their item builds. Crystal Maiden going to TP in here, Alchemist as well, and we'll drop a stun on the Clockwork. So maybe the death of Clockwork. See if he's able to hook out to anyone. He will use a wand and save himself for now. We're going to eat a power shot and should fall here, except he's stolen a chemical rage from the Alchemist. Going to eat a very short stun channel there. Clockwork coming back in quite foolishly though, very low on health and will die. Sand King has a blink dagger already though, and does blink and finish off the Outworld Devourer. Somebody's TPing out right in the middle. Venomancer going to TP out in the middle of Nobi's team. Crystal Maiden very low on health right now. This should be a self-stun by the Alchemist. Crystal Maiden ate a sting there. Is she gonna fall? She will. Crystal Maiden gonna fall from the sting applied by the ward sitting here. Storm Spirit does manage to take out that bottom tower. So things are looking very, very bleak for Nobi here. They had that amazing start in lane, but it has just fallen apart. So Storm Spirit going to be going for an Orchid. Even the supports over on SCL are quite fat. Rubik with Arcanes and earning 1,200 gold at 13 minutes. Venomancer has the face. Did that just happen? Nobi going to call GG at 13 minutes. Well, that was not really what I expected. Let's see, what time is it? Unfortunately, even with how fast that was, I don't really have time to cast another game. So that is probably going to be it today. It was a short game, was pretty interesting though. So I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was a very fun game to watch, fun game to cast. Tons of action. Nobi running an interesting offensive tri-lane that seemed to be working great for them. They were off to a great start, but Alchemist getting crushed in the mid lane and the OD not doing well in the top lane once the Rubik rotated up to help the Clockwork. Nobi tried to respond by rotating some of their own heroes, and that ended up just flipping the bottom lane completely in SCL's favor. And from then on, they were basically able to just take the game completely by storm. By Storm and Venomancer. Storm Spirit 8-1, Venomancer 9-2. Not a whole lot else to say, lots of kills, exciting game, pretty fun. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of these games, you can check out all of the replays over on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/I'mTheWinningest, or you can just check the VODs on my Twitch channel. If you like them, subscribe, like, thumbs up, whatever, share them on Facebook, show them to your friends. Do these about every day at 11:30ish. When I get off my morning classes. Don't do them on the weekends. Might do some this weekend depending on how much time I have. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you guys probably on Monday.